West Coast, y'all. Peace.
What's up, everybody? It's your man. You know who it is. If you don't, I'm King A.D.S. out here in Southern California in the Inland Empire, back trying to be supercharged with you, you know what I'm saying? So we can connect like static, you know what I'm saying? And make an electrifying situation, basically, though. But I love to get up here. I just have fun and get up here and talk to you so I can connect with you in a genuine way as much as possible in these ones and zeros times and everything. But yeah, man, the thing that got me going right now, first of all, I just came back from the dentist earlier today, and it was a great visit to the dentist. I know that sounds funny, but yeah, it really was, considering what I went through last year. Hopefully I don't go through anything like that again, but moving forward, you know what I'm saying? So I like to be able to say that it was a nice visit to the dentist, which is, like I said, the weirdest thing you'd ever hear come out of another human's mouth, but it was a very quick visit, you know what I'm saying? So it gave me the opportunity to get back up here, you know, drama free in my mouth region, and be able to communicate with you and everything. So that was an awesome feeling, and also was awesome because I could get right back to it on being productive. I hope all of you are being productive, and you know what, and I hope all your you don't have any mouth problems, and I hope your teeth are straight and pearly, and you know, or even if they're not straight, they're nice and clean and pearly, and you don't have any issues or anything like that, because that's no fun. But also shouts out to everybody out here getting it done and motivating and everything like that. I swear, man, with everything that's going on out here in the world, it really feels all jumbled up, just like I was saying in the last video. And so you just don't know what to expect. You might go on a roller coaster ride from here, you know, from here and now and then, you know, from time to time is really what I meant to say. From time to time, you might be on a little roller coaster ride, and so you don't know what to expect. But then something comes through that's positive, and then we feel like we're ready to do it again. It only takes a little bit of the good stuff to get you way up. It takes a whole lot of the bad stuff to bring you down. You know what I'm saying? It's the same like that. It's funny across the board how that is in life. You know what I'm saying? You only need a little bit of the quality stuff to get you going. You know what I'm saying? But you need a whole lot of the cheap stuff to you know, to get you going, and then that'll bring you down. You know what I mean? So we don't want that. We stay motivating up around here. And so anyway, I was gonna say, after I got back, I was able to get back and get productive. Talk to a potential client, which was a nice switch up because I don't know what to expect in these times, but also was building with the fam, you know, and been building with the fam, you know, having some conversations. You know, a few, not all the fam, but just a few, you know, members of the fam, you know what I'm saying? We've been talking about things, a few things. And one of the things I'm excited to talk about, though, is that there's going to be some new material coming. It's going to be a lot of new material coming. So I hope that you've been enjoying the music and stuff like that, because there's going to be a whole lot more. This next project, though, I've been looking forward to for a while. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's got a good theme to it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And it's with GTP, with the fam. GTP, that's Grind Time Productions, and yours truly, King A.D.S. You know what I'm saying? And we come together on a whole mix of songs, you know what I'm saying, a project, and it's going to be a great thing. And so be on the lookout for that, you know what I'm saying, coming up soon. But we were talking, going over graphics, we were going over ideas and things like that, and those are coming together to be something that's very fun, eye-catching, and festive. And so I'm really excited about the theme of it, and I'm really excited about the color scheme of it and everything. So things are really popping, and we're going to keep it, you know, vibrant and fun and involved around here. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to get corporate McDonald's colors. We're not going to get, you know, corporate beige, or, you know, just gray and black and bland and stuff, and then with a cheapened logo. We're not doing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go with something that's going to be a lot of fun, you know, and as artists, as visual artists, as well as audio artists. Like, when I was in school, I wanted to be an animator first. So there was visual communications, illustration, computer graphics, all those types of things. And so the way that we were trained was to take pieces of things in Photoshop, you know, and piece it together, right? So coming from a hip hop head, if you're a hip hop head, that kind of like that resonates with you because we're masterful at taking something, making something out of nothing. You know what I mean? So taking bits and pieces, but making it an original arrangement so it is its own work. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of like if you're an artist and you're using anything like, I know it's a dirty word to some, but AI, right? I would say the thing that became noticeable to me is that you have an endless amount of generic material now. You know what I'm saying? So you need a trash can or you need a lighter or something like that. You can just get that and cut it out of the picture and then mesh all the mixed multimedia, and just mix it together. So we were having conversations about that and going over a few concepts that have been mixed together and everything, and it's coming across really cool so far. And then also another thing that came up though, which I thought was interesting conversation wise, because it came up a few times. I've been keeping my ear to the pulse and finger on the pulse and ear to the streets, right? Or ear to the world, whatever, because now we got all this internet and everything. So a couple of videos and people were expressing it on the musical side of things, where they're talking about like a lot of major artists or artists that are perceived as major artists are having problems selling out these venues. And then you've got like some of the promotion and ticket sales of formats, they're going through some things too. And maybe a bit of greed, maybe a bit of the corporate influence to make things more mechanicized versus like taking the product, because that seems to be the time we're in, the copycat phase, where it's like take what we know how to do authentically and then try to repackage it, just to like you strip it down, put it on a conveyor belt so it's a nice package and you just keep going with it, which is okay in some instances, but then in other instances you need those small pieces of flavor that make something authentic, make it what it is. That's the human connection, that's the experience that we're all having. Because if some people don't see us as people or whatever, but newsflash, that's where we live with a bunch of people. So it's got to kind of like relate to people on some level. At least that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if you feel the same, but definitely that's how I look at it, is that a human connection is so important. And so like when someone, anything, someone or something tries to take those pieces out, eventually it's going to become a model for more profit over purpose, which is most of the time fantastical and a shortcut type methodology thinking, right? So but then it's unsustainable because it's fantastical thinking on top of it. So it's just like it's kind of like a 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. But in the meantime of the 2 steps forward, we have to like sit through it. And that process took away a lot of the local scene. And if you're an artist, man, I know you would appreciate, especially a younger artist, you really would have appreciated the scene, the local scene, because speaking from experience, I've been at this for a long time. People that know me out there know this. Shouts out, you know what I'm saying? But other people that don't, yeah, I've been around the block more than once. And the way that we used to build a buzz from the ground up, from nothing to something, was you get together with other locals that are hot in the area and you start doing local events. And then from there, you might have a few areas where you can rotate between, but there's consistency. And so you can kind of get a chance to big up to your peeps and they can get a chance to come out eventually. And at the same time, you can big up to all the other locals that either just fall into the area or fall in the same way for another act that they fall in for you, right? Like your peeps, their peeps, you know what I mean? Everybody comes through and that attracts more peeps, you know what I'm saying? And also I should note too, though, the music that you use for that type of mission should be something that's inviting, inclusive, and welcoming. So it's more like a party atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? Those were the most lucrative types of pushes that work the best. But nevertheless, to build up from there and then maybe reach out to other locals in other areas, branch out accordingly. And then from there, I know some people don't like to hear anything about pay to play promoters or whatever, but back in the days, we had some decent ones too. And if you have a decent one, I don't know if they exist anymore. I think we're going to see a comeback. But in that local scene and to other bigger spots, medium-sized spots that were well noted, well known, you could actually book through them, and that's, you can offer that to your audience. Like, it's not always about you. Sometimes it's about what makes you have, allows you to have the opportunity, right? It's a synergistic type of thing, a synergetic makes more sense. Is that even a word? Did I make up something? I'm creative. Anyway, that synergy, comes together. So without the people, you'd be nothing. You know what I mean? And so you always want to take care of the people who take care of you. You know what I mean? If they're showing up and they're enjoying the atmosphere, they're enjoying the vibes and entertainment, then they come through consistently and they're loyal like that, and it's so awesome because it doesn't happen every day. But if it does, you like to offer a little bit more, just like in any that's. And I don't want to just say it's business, that's good business, but it is. You know what I mean? And in any walk of business or field, like even in friendship, like someone, you don't mind giving back and you want to give back to people that are good to you. You know what I mean? So that's, so it's a normal, I think it's more of a normal progression of actions. You know what I mean? But from there, into getting to know other acts and then working with the promoters maybe to headline that act that and then open up for them and still be able to sell the notes, not yourself but other, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of like move up the ladder at your own accord and still maintain your relationships in maybe in the underground or with other people that you're already down with and stuff like that. So you just kind of but moving at more of your own accord. And it's just a shame to see that so much of that, even the spots and everything in the format of music, how it changed up. And so it's a lot harder for up and coming artists to do these days. You know what I mean? And it's not something that was just here in Southern California, because I've heard other stories across the board, across the whole U.S. You know what I mean? So that's really a bummer. But I think though, here's something weird that we touched on, where another video actually touched on, that I want to add to this though, that I think that maybe this is not to be like all doom and gloom, because there might be some good news, might be light at the end of the tunnel here. I think the prediction and rhythms of time, and I think that's an advantage that you get as you get older, is that you can see the way things go, right? You see the patterns and things like that. So you see things move in a cyclical nature, come back around in a cycle and such. And I think that possibly we've gone so far and we're gonna turn this precipice where everything wants to go super robotic, nerd, futuristic, right? Shouts to the nerds. I love you too. I'm a nerd of my own accord. So let's get back to it. But just saying that we've gone so far ahead of what we used to have, right? But yet people still yearn for that. So we're at a point where we can sell that nostalgia, which many people have, right? In a great way, in a fun way. But then you also feel, or hear, I should say, hear more talk about people actually demanding it. Like there was a story from, I think there's some people called Clownfish TV, shouts to them. But the reason why I'm mentioning it is because they had a little segment about how there was a guy remodeling certain locations of his Pizza Huts to look like the old school design. And then they said the result ended up being that people were basically, it was hopping, you know what I'm saying? It was hopping. So people want a little bit more of that nostalgia where they feel more connected and identify with things, right? That I want to identify, and their core audience is identifying with something, right? And it's fun and it's festive, so they're welcome to, they're drawn to it, and it's a better way to go about it. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, but they're having a lot of problems selling these big shows. So I would predict, go out on the limb and predict that perhaps, well, I won't predict anything, but perhaps we can see a resurgence of the local scene. I would really love to see a resurgence of the local scene and rebuild the buzz in a very organic way, and there's nothing wrong with having love from people in the game and getting put on by them or anything. But if you want something more sustainable in the long run, you're going to have to build a core audience. That's why I'm always doing grunt work. I'm going to get back off of this camera or this phone camera, but I'm going to get back to work on promoting. I've just been promoting like a madman. I don't have a huge budget, but I've got the effort and I've got the experience, and so I've got the determination and will. So I will go ahead and try to get some wheels under a few things, just so that that when you come over here, that it's real. And like I said, that I'm real, and that the efforts are real, and that somebody is giving 2 F's about it and doing something, just getting active over here, just so that when you come into the room, it's not empty room. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But I would love to see that scene come back, you know what I'm saying? And it's also interesting that the nostalgia thing, you know what I'm saying, coming around full circle, and that's kind of like what made me feel like there's a possibility that we might see a lot of these concepts that have to do with connectivity in the structure of community, and in city, like cities and stuff like that, like the infrastructure, the things that make a city actually move, which are the people that live there, you know what I'm saying? So it would be a shame for everybody not to be able to participate in extracurricular activities in their own area, simply because there's another narrative that's just killing all that, and then it's hard to find anything otherwise because it was killing all that. And then so you get a chance to sample what it's like when you don't have all the options that connect people, from a ground level. You get these overpriced, overblown, underdone situations. If it's too good to be true, then it probably is. That's been expressed in other videos. I love that phrase ever since I was a kid because it's so true. But like, we're in the three, as I expressed before, and I don't know if I messed up and didn't mention the three about what it meant. I did it in the beginning of the year, but the three stands for understanding in the supreme mathematics. And also, what's also strange, on a strange note, that no, okay, so the understanding is the structure of this device. There's this machine that we're in, and everybody can see the order of the way all the pieces move. So the number after that is a four, and a four is culture. So talking about how the nostalgia becomes desirable, and this new this narrative they've been pushing is undesirable because of the wave that we're in, and this understanding that we're moving in order, and what they want to demand, a demand for something more authentic, which is nostalgia, which is culture. And then so we get a more of a demand to be more inclusive, right? Everyone's included. So yeah, so next year it's shaping up to look accurate, guys. It's really trippy to me, man. It's really shaping up to look accurate, that most likely next year we will be getting back to the things that make us human just a little bit more. And then the year after that possibly is power, and we will be taking that power back. You know what I'm saying? And how we would like to move, it will become a definite thing. It will become a concrete thing, and that's amazing. So that motivates me. That lights a fire inside of me. I hope it does the same to you. I hope you stuck around for this video, man. Hit the like button, the hype button, to share it, whatever which way. But I appreciate you. I appreciate your time and your ears and your love and your energy. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you get the same from me. And I really like to spend the time. I dedicate the time and I spend it with you. I'm looking on here. It says 17 minutes. So I've spent a whole 7 minutes. I could probably keep going, but I'm going to get out of here, man, because I'm going to get active over here and keep that energy up. I hope that this helps bring the energy up a little bit more. Stay inspired. Stay doing what you do. Don't feel the pressure that you have to change completely. There's just certain things that will dial back a bit. It's the only way I could see it working. It'll dial back a bit, but it won't fade away completely. So those skills you have, put them to work. Don't put them away. Put them to work. Get with other people that have similar skills that you worked with, or similar people, and get together. You know what I'm saying? And get something going on the side, or independently, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I love to see you motivating, and I love to motivate. And I feel, that's when I feel the best. You know what I'm saying? When I'm trying to move towards a goal and it's working, and when other people are doing the same thing and I can see it working for them, because that inspires me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in the last video, so we kind of have this ping pong effect, ping, 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 back and forth, and we're just, growing, and we're vibing, and we're electrified. Hey, what do I see in front of me? An electric being. Ooh. A little song for you too. Look at that. You didn't even know you were gonna get all that today. You didn't even know you were gonna get all that today. But look at your boy, your man take care of you. You know what I'm saying? You come to the right place. That's all I want to say. You come to the right place. So spend some time with me. All right, y'all. I'm out of here to the next video. Much love. Peace.